of the legendary Bruce Lee and universally hailed star of The Crow. His name was Brandon Lee. From the brilliant director of The Bride with White Hair, and Warriors of Virtue, Ronnie Yu, comes a gripping tale of brotherly betrayal and ruthless revenge. The immortal Brandon Lee, in his only made in Hong Kong motion picture role, a critically acclaimed portrait of Fury Unbound. Legacy of Rage.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in again for another episode of Chop-Socky Cinema, your weekly dose of water in your diet. I'm Josh.
Roger.
And today we are checking out Ronnie Yu's Legacy of Rage, starring Brandon Lee, the late great Brandon Lee. Came out in 1986. This was, in fact, Brandon Lee's first movie where he was the main actor in it, like the main actor, because previously he had a supporting role in the Kung Fu movie. He actually played Kwai Chang Kang's son.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, and the thing is that, it did come out in 86. Interestingly enough, this didn't come out in America until 1998, after his death, tragic death during The Crow.
Yeah, because his death they would use the tragedy to make more money. The movie studios, hey, check this movie out. You might have never seen.
It's because, like I said, Roger had never seen this. I saw it a long time ago, so I forgot almost all of it. But
it's pretty amazing.
And as far as the synopsis, most of the synopses I said are very spoilerific. But the general gist is Brandon Lee plays Brandon Ma, a very much average Joe. I mean, he works 2 jobs to survive. He does a random scrap job, and then he works as a waiter at a club at night, and he works with his girlfriend. And, well, basically, this guy gets put through the ringer.
Oh, yeah.
It is, as we'll explain through this review, it is a very tropey action movie, especially a revenge movie. So, well, Roger, let's start. What did you like about this movie?
All the action sequences were amazing. Anything martial arts, Brandon Lee, was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the stuff I've seen before with him in it, just like Rapid Fire and The Crow, you don't see a lot of martial arts. You see a little bit, but this one he really takes the cake as far as physical martial arts.
Because in The Crow, it's actually more of the gun fu stuff.
Mostly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But no, I agree with you right there. Because that is Brandon Lee is at his best when he is kicking ass, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Most definitely.
This movie did not have enough of that, in my opinion, but when it did, it was brutal.
They made you wait for it. They made you wait for it with all the talkies and the feely stuff.
There's one, towards the end, there's one guy, he uppercuts him so hard in his stomach, he lifts him off the ground.
I think he kills him with about one shot. And there's a street fight at one point, and they say how many moves it's going to take, and Brandon Lee's 3, and then you're down.
Another thing I liked about this is that street fight he was in, that was a cameo by Bolo Young.
Yep.
Which was actually kind of one of the things that Bolo Young wanted to do it because Bolo Young was in Bruce Lee's last movie before he died.
Yep. And I think they were pretty good friends.
They were good friends, so he actually really enjoyed getting to do a movie with his son.
And Bolo Young's been a staple in Chinese
cinema.
He's been in 500 to 600
And honestly,
movies.
if you've seen Bloodsport, he's Chong Li, the man with the magical dancing pecs.
Pretty much.
But other stuff I liked about Four Eyes, his sidekick, his ride or die. Mm-hmm. Really, just gonna say it like it is, folks. Four Eyes is the Deus Ex Machina for this movie.
He kind of is, yeah.
Because for one, at one point Brandon's in prison, and Four Eyes is the one that actually gives him the plan to get out of prison. It doesn't work, but
it's helpful.
I mean, it up until
when you're in prison, it's good to have friends.
It's good to have.
If American History X taught us nothing.
Oh, and the thing is that there is a little bit of subtext that if you don't think about what time this came out, it's a little confusing. That the whole thing in the prison about how the warden's like, whoa, you can't hassle the white guys, you know they're watching us, because this is 86, a good 11 years before
British rule.
12 years before Britain loses
Hong
Kong as a colony.
Yep.
And oh man, the white gang in prison, the leader is this big bald dude, and he says everything like this.
He says everything up to 12. But he screams it in American. There's still American subtitles to it.
Because the best is he's like, you have two options: kiss my ass or call me Papa. And of course, Brandon Lee chooses
number three
by telling him what he thinks of him. But like I said, and also just the end of it is just a really
tour de force of action sequences.
Action! I mean,
the action.
There are some really nice car stunts and some amazing practical effects.
The credits would lead you to believe there's one car stunt, but no, there's more.
The thing is also that oh my god, because this is Hong Kong in the 80s. They computer effects. These are all
computer effects. It's all practical.
These are all practical effect explosions. A lot of gas.
A lot of squibs. A lot of pops. A lot of blood.
But and just all the. There's just lots of there's a really nice shot of where Four Eyes jumps out in the air with two Uzis like John Woo style.
Yep.
But also it's kind of neat that this is one of Ronnie Yu's early movies, because I mean, you guys out there, you've probably seen movies he's done in America.
Yeah.
Because he did Freddy vs. Jason.
Yep.
He also did Bride of Chucky, which is really weird.
Kind of strange he went on a horror kick there for a bit, you know?
Well,
did he do any Japanese horror or anything?
He did Bride with White Hair, which is it's like very much like Chinese fantasy horror.
Yeah.
That's probably the movie he's most famous for.
Yeah.
But and like that's the one thing about, I mean, basically it's like a hardcore action movie. When it's popping, it's popping.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to lead me to what I didn't like about this movie. When it's not popping.
Not popping.
Because this movie is about an hour and a half, and there's roughly about 20 to 30 minutes of...
action.
No, mate. Between, action of dead air. Yeah. It's not really dead air. I mean,
they're working on the storyline and stuff like that. This is why he's doing stuff and...
It just seems like they could have maybe shaved that down by about 10 minutes and gotten to the good stuff sooner. Because, I mean, they established, like, his girlfriend May, and, this character gets the crap stick, folks.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it just...
I think this is her first movie, too. Regina King.
Yeah.
Kim. This is like her first movie, and she did really good in there, but, this character just gets everything horrible thrown at her.
And another thing I didn't like about it was Brandon Lee as Brandon Ma, easy to remember, but I would actually say that the villain, Michael, or as I like to call him, the Chinese Scott Baio.
Oh, yeah.
He is...
Got the hair.
He is not nearly as entertaining as Brandon Lee is, because Brandon Lee's
not nearly as entertaining as a lot of Chinese villains as I've seen in stuff.
Because the thing is, he's like... Because he is a corrupt cop's son.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's established that his dad is actually like your atypical Mr. Big villain.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, he's actually a pretty good villain. He has an associate called Sharky who's a corrupt cop. That's one thing at the beginning of the movie. There's a lot of corruption.
Oh, yeah.
Like down the pipe. But just Michael himself, he's kind of a panty waist.
Yeah.
Not terribly intimidating. I mean,
he doesn't like to get his hands dirty. He'll usually have other people do it.
And even after a certain point, I mean, even May, like... shows that she's not terribly intimidated by him. That I give him credit. Like towards the end, I mean, they had the moment where he actually has to, like him and Brandon have to fight. Where I'm glad they didn't just suddenly make him Superman.
Yeah.
But it's just to me, it's
still realistic.
I've seen a lot better villains than him.
Yeah, I've seen a lot better final fights, but then it's just kind of what the character he was, and that's how it went.
All right, Rod, so what did you not like about this?
I like some of the like dialogue and stuff in between. I could have cut down on the shots and stuff like that. They had a lot of establishing stuff, like trying to say how poor Brandon was and stuff like that, and how rich Michael was in by comparison and stuff like that. I would have cut back a little bit on that and stuff like that, and then I would have probably cut down the friendship a little bit.
Yeah. Also,
I would have just gotten to the chase faster.
And also one thing, Roger. So yeah, I think we both agreed this was a very tropey action movie. So let's just kind of we'll start listing some of the tropes in this movie, folks. The common man done wrong.
Oh yeah.
That's that's pretty much the whole crux of the movie.
Basically,
he's a hard-working class man that gets screwed over by his best friend. The prison movie trope.
Yep.
Where he ultimately finds a very convenient way to get out and has to fight against the gangs.
Friends in low places, as it were.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brash young hero wants a motorcycle.
Yeah.
In a lot of movies. Poor guy hang out with rich friend. To do that in a lot of movies. There's a lot of tropes that just kind of go through this movie like.
Oh, and also
like
at one point,
on the water.
at one point, Four Eyes shows him his little stash, and he says, "I hope it's enough." And he opens up, and I mean, it's an entire locker full of just guns of every description.
Guns. And one can of WD-40.
Yeah, one can of. And this is also the trope of the Hong Kong action movie, the gear up where the heroes get ready to kick ass, where you see just loading shells and lots of shots of Brandon Lee cocking guns and
a lot of zip cuts and stuff like that.
And then also just the big car chase. I mean, with there's lots of explosions and car stunts, and one other thing, Brandon Lee gives fantastic gun face, folks. When he's like shooting Four Eyes gives pretty decent gun face too.
That's true. It's like he kind of pains him to do this, like buddy burn.
Oh yeah, and one other thing that we both thought was kind of just a little bit odd is that because they have the part where like Four Eyes and Brandon, they're shot the hell up. They've just massacred a small army of dudes and. Then they decide to because I'm guessing that all the shots, they didn't have the time or the money to explain, like, how they got out and escaped the cops and got healed up. So they just show a bunch of still shots of Brandon and his kid,
and then Four Eyes showing them to a cigar boat.
A cigarette boat, yeah.
Yep.
And then they're playing. Then
they drive off into the sunset. The old trope of like, I'm on a boat, I'm free.
I'm fairly sure that the reason why they did all the still shots is because the cigarette boat broke the budget for the movie.
More than likely, or they weren't allowed to shoot somewhere or something like that, so they could just take stills.
But really, as far as rating goes, I'd probably give this about 3.5 paper cranes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not perfect, but as an action movie, it's perfectly serviceable.
Yeah.
When it's there is really tight and well choreographed.
I think the stuff at the end came from his time in prison and him waiting to get out and stuff like that, and probably working out and fighting in prison.
Yeah.
And making himself stronger to turn into what he was at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a kind of the whole trope of growth. Like, you were here, now you're here, now you're stronger, now you no guns and stuff like that. And then probably Four Eyes helped him out along the way. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Roger, what would you give this?
I would say 4 out of 5 paper cranes.
Oh,
Very good. It's a hidden gem. I haven't seen it before. It was a lot better than I thought it'd be, because there's lots of Hong Kong action out there, and a lot of it's kind of generic, but if you have the right pieces, you can make a really good thing.
And the thing is this, I mean, it is, in my opinion, it is a very paint-by-numbers revenge action movie, but that's... and excuse us, folks, we have Cat. All right. But, guys, there you go.
Hello, Kitty.
Hello, Max.
That's
Hello.
Max.
All right.
Go away.
The unofficial foot-lion of the Raj Mahal, or as we like to call it, Chop-Socky Cinema Studio B. But folks, and also great thing about this is if you'd like to check it out, it is available on Prime Video for all of you Prime users out there. It's actually quite a few of Brandon Lee's movies recently got picked up by Amazon.
Rapid Fire, Laser Mission, and this. And I think I saw Rapid Fire a long time ago. I think I'd probably like this one a lot better.
See, I mean, actually, I remember, I saw it when it came out on video back in the day.
Yeah.
But
he's dubbed through this one. He doesn't use his regular voice at all. He's dubbed in Chinese through the whole thing.
I mean, he speaks Chinese.
He's dubbed in English also, and even though he speaks English.
Yeah,
he's like,
it's actually his voice speaking Chinese, but when he speaks English, he actually speaks it like he can't speak it real well.
Yeah, like it sounds like a Chinese guy speaking English for him. I guess, I don't know.
And all right, closing thoughts. I mean, really, this was him at the start of his movie career, and I mean, it's just tragic that.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he'd also done some like he did Showdown in Little Tokyo with Dolph Lundgren, which is another kick-ass action movie. I highly recommend Big Showdown in Little Tokyo if you've never seen it.
Oh yeah.
And then just that, oh man, and The Crow. I mean, that really that would have made him like an international superstar.
Pretty much.
With The Crow.
Yeah.
But anyways, folks, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, if you'd like to check out some of our merch, please go to www.redbubble.com/geekcarolina. You can pick up shirts like these. This is one of my personal favorites. Joe Gibkin is my homeboy.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, I'm Josh.
Roger.
And we'll catch you at the Chop-Socky house.